Hi guys, I'm Sharn. I am going to do a quick talk to you about modelling for success, what we can learn from MFL teaching and practice to use in our own history classrooms. So quick background about me. I'm currently a supply teacher at Wolstanton High School in Newcastle-under-Lyme. And in September, I'm going to be an NQT at Morton School in Wolverhampton. Now, currently, I do teach MFL and history, but I have found that it's been extremely beneficial to my teaching practice, teaching these two subjects. Now we know the four main skills in MFL: listening, speaking, reading, and writing. I'm going to quickly run through what I believe we should do in history, and I'm going to focus on one in particular. So in history, we should look at speaking, but we should make sure that we are modelling all of these skills because we do use them in history. So modelling speaking, do we use the language that we expect our students to use? Are we using the key words of the lesson? Are we bringing in the inquiry questions? Are we constantly trying to answer all these questions? Do we explain what we're saying? Do we constantly go over, make sure that we are modelling how we're speaking to ensure that all students are following along with our exposition? When we're reading, are we supporting our students through chunks of text, or are we just leaving them there? Are we just giving them a huge chunk of text and going, do it? Or are we actually making it more manageable? Do we provide synonyms and definitions for difficult words and even our keywords? And writing, which is what most of us would already be doing. Do we provide success criteria? Do we give a clear structure and writing frame? And do we model either a weak or strong answer and then explain it? Now, one key thing that's going to be constant throughout this quick talk is MFL model language constantly. This is something that we should strive for in teaching history. Now, I am going to focus on speaking in the classroom. When we ask questions, we immediately expect students to hear what we say and create a strong answer back for us. We do forget that we need that thinking time to formulate a strong answer. 3 seconds is enough for us to start thinking about it and start to formulate an answer, but you want to give them maximum of 10, otherwise it becomes a very big lull. So it allows students time to reply. You find this a lot in any classroom, but with MFL particularly. So how do we help these students, which possibly have only just started this subject, that have only just started learning a language? How are we going to be able to expect them to speak in this brand new language that they don't have the slightest inkling about? Provide a slight structure, some sentences on the board, give them some clear definitions. Perhaps an image. They could help you describe the image. Looking at an image can give them a focal point. As I said, sentence starters. We think about this more when it comes to writing, but it helps with speaking as well. So in the classroom, as you're talking, write some important bullet points down. Students aren't going to be able to remember everything that you say. Remember, working memory really only holds 3 to 5 things, 3 being the average. So they're listening to you, trying to understand it, and then something else in the classroom is going to distract them. By the time you get them to say it back to you, they're going to forget something. Plan your questions as you're planning your lessons. You will then know exactly what you're going to ask, what you expect, and you can model how you're talking throughout to show them those expectations. You can do simple things like boxing style debates. If you're having a debate, give them some success criteria. 1 point, simple point, just saying something, a statement. 2 points, a detailed answer. 3 points, an answer but then able to counter it. And 5 points, a detailed counter argument. These little things will make a world of difference when you're speaking. Andy Farby, in his book How to Explain Absolutely Everything, is one of my best favourite books. But he's saying learning requires a series of base counts and steady process of acclimatization. This is the same for speaking. We need to know what we're going to say, when we're going to say it, and how we can help our students say these things with little steps. Now, I have talked a lot, probably gone over the time, but what can I actually do in my classroom to support speaking like a historian? One of them is from Sarah Hartsmith, Speak All Right Like a Historian Display. Here you can see from my own example in my classroom that I printed them off and put them up. but you can constantly go back to them. Different words for adding point, different words for causation, the factors. Model what you were saying, but allow students to use that. Students can keep looking at it and go, oh, instead of this word, I can use this. And that's what we want. We want them to be able to write like historians, but also speak like it. Karen Knight with her starter activities. Talk like a historian. You can see that you've got clear structure, clear success criteria. 1 point you say certain words, 10 points bring in different words, perhaps things from different lessons, old lessons, things that are relevant. But it really helps our students join together our information and be able to talk like historians, like we want, because we say everything for a reason. If they can say it, they understand it. And as I mentioned, the boxing style debates, just to help them talk, understand, and be able to see where their next step is. Some key things that if you take anything away from this talk, because I do ramble, if we want students to use it, we have to model it. If we model it well, students will be able to use it. If we model our language, if we model how we talk and how we speak to our students, they will be able to show it you back. And last thing, which is key to this, if MFL teachers can teach a whole new language in 3 to 5 years, from nothing through talking and modelling, we can teach students how to be historians and more in that time. Thank you.